The tiny alien girl was alone on a strange and wild planet. The sky was dark with heavy clouds and the air smelled sharp and cold. She looked very small next to the tall trees and big rocks around her. Her bright eyes were full of fear as she moved slowly, trying to hide. Everyone on her planet knew the dangers, but she was young and did not understand how dangerous the forest was. Suddenly, a loud roar echoed through the trees. The ground shook under the heavy steps of a huge creature. It was a dragon, big and fierce. Its scales shone like burning metal, and its eyes glowed red with anger. The dragon was angry and hungry. It wanted to catch the tiny alien girl. The alien girl ran fast, but the dragon was faster. It spread its huge wings and flew after her. The girl was scared, her heart pounding like a drum in her chest. She knew she could not fight this monster alone. She looked around desperately for help, but no one was near. The other aliens had all run away, afraid to face the dragon. Just when the dragon was about to catch her, a figure appeared from the shadows. It was a human man. He was not from this planet, but somehow he had come here at the right time. Human stood between the dragon and the alien girl without fear. His eyes were steady and his voice was calm. "Go back," he said to the dragon, but the dragon only growled louder. The human did not run or hide. He pulled out a strange tool from his belt. It made a soft humming sound and shone with a blue light. The dragon looked confused but stayed ready to attack. The tiny alien girl watched in surprise. She did not understand why this human was so brave. No one on her planet had ever tried to stop a dragon before. The human's courage gave her hope. Maybe she could be saved after all. The dragon took a deep breath and let out a fiery blast toward the human. The man quickly raised a shield made of glowing energy. The fire hit the shield and bounced back, lighting up the dark forest. The human smiled slightly, showing he was ready for the fight. The dragon circled around, trying to find a weakness. The human kept his eyes on the beast, moving carefully. He knew he could not fight with strength alone. The dragon was too big and too strong, so he used his mind and his tools. Suddenly, the human threw a small device that landed near the dragon's feet. It made a loud noise and sent out bright lights. The dragon roared in pain and anger. The alien girl gasped, amazed by the human's cleverness. She had never seen technology like this before. While the dragon was distracted, the human moved closer to the alien girl. He held out his hand. "Come with me," he said gently. The girl hesitated, but she saw the kindness in his eyes. She took his hand, feeling safer than she had in a long time. The dragon recovered quickly and flew toward them with sharp claws ready to strike. The human held the alien girl tightly and raised his tool again. This time, it shot a strong beam of light straight at the dragon. The dragon screamed and stopped in midair. It was hurt, but not defeated. The fight was far from over, but the human did not give up. He knew that saving the alien girl would be dangerous, but he was willing to risk everything. The alien girl looked at him with a new feeling: trust. She was no longer alone. The forest around them was silent except for the sounds of the battle. The trees swayed as the dragon and the human fought. The tiny alien girl held her breath, hoping for a miracle. This was only the beginning. The dragon was powerful, and the forest was full of danger. But the human had come to this wild place for a reason. He was not just brave, he was different. The alien girl's heart began to beat with hope. Maybe, just maybe, she could survive this terrible fight with the help of the strange human who risked everything to save her. The dragon's roar shook the air again, fierce and full of rage. But the human did not back down. He stood tall, his eyes sharp and focused. The alien girl watched him closely, her heart still pounding from the close calls. She wondered how this human could be so calm and brave when facing such a terrifying beast. The human knew he could not defeat the dragon with just strength. The dragon was huge, with scales like iron and fire that could burn anything. Instead, he used his quick mind and strange tools that no one on this planet had seen before. He moved carefully, watching the dragon's every move. With a steady hand, he pulled out a small device from his belt. It hummed softly and sent out waves of light that made the dragon pause. The dragon growled, confused by this new power. The human pressed a button, and a bright shield of energy appeared around him and the alien girl, protecting them from the dragon's fiery breath. The alien girl was amazed. She had never seen such technology. She felt a spark of hope that maybe they could survive this fight together. The human reached out and gently touched her shoulder. His voice was calm but strong. "You are not alone anymore," he said. "I will protect you." The dragon lunged forward, its claws sharp and deadly. The human quickly activated a trap on the ground. The trap shot out nets made of glowing wires. The dragon was caught by surprise and struggled to break free. The alien girl gasped at the sight. The human used this moment to pull her behind a large rock. "Stay close," he whispered. "I will keep you safe." The dragon roared louder, breaking part of the net with its strength. It was angry and desperate. The human knew time was short. He pulled out another device that sent out a loud sound only animals could hear. The dragon flinched and shook its head, disturbed by the noise. The alien girl saw a different side of the dragon now, not just a monster, but a creature in pain and confusion. The human lowered his weapon for a moment and spoke softly toward the dragon. His words were strange but calm, like a language of peace. The dragon's eyes flickered with something new. It hesitated, lowering its wings slightly. The human stepped forward slowly, holding out his hand. The alien girl held her breath. Could this fearsome beast be tamed? Suddenly, the dragon roared. Again, but this time it was a warning, not an attack. It spread its wings and took off, flying high above the trees. The fight was not over, but for now the danger had passed. The human turned to the alien girl with a small smile. "You're safe for now," he said, "but we must move quickly." The alien girl nodded, feeling a new strength inside her. She knew this human was different, brave, clever, and kind. Together they could face the dangers of this wild planet. As they walked away from the battle, the alien girl looked back once more. The dragon's shadow moved far in the distance, watching them still. The story was only beginning, and both knew many challenges were ahead. But for the first time, the alien girl believed she had a chance to survive and maybe even win. The forest around them was quiet now, but the tension still hung heavy in the air. The alien girl walked beside the human, her small hand tucked safely in his. She looked up at him with wide eyes full of questions. Who was this human? Why had he come to this dangerous world? And most of all, why did he care about her? The human glanced down at her with a gentle smile. He was not a warrior like the dragon they had just faced, but he had something just as powerful, a kind heart and a clever mind. He knew this planet was full of secrets, and this tiny alien girl was hiding one of the greatest. As they moved deeper into the forest, the alien girl began to feel a strange warmth inside her chest. It was like a light, soft and steady. She tried to hide it, but the human noticed. "What's that?" he asked softly, watching her carefully. The alien girl hesitated. She had never told anyone about this before. "I don't know," she whispered. "It feels like power, but it scares me." The human nodded, understanding. Sometimes the things that scare us the most are the things that make us strong. Suddenly, the trees around them shimmered with faint light. Tiny glowing creatures, like stars come to life, floated softly through the air. The alien girl smiled for the first time. These creatures were her friends. They had stayed close to protect her. But the human's attention was on something else. He bent down and picked up a strange plant with bright blue leaves. "This could help us," he said. "It has healing power." The alien girl watched in amazement as the human crushed the leaves into a soft paste and gently applied it to a small scratch on her arm. The wound slowly stopped hurting and the red mark faded. "You have many gifts here," the human said. "And so do you." The alien girl looked at him confused. "What do you mean?" Before the human could answer, a sudden noise broke the calm. The bushes rustled violently and out jumped a group of alien creatures. They were taller than the alien girl but smaller than the dragon. Their eyes glowed with curiosity but also caution. One of them stepped forward. A leader, perhaps. He spoke in a language the alien girl barely understood. The human did not seem to understand at all, but he held up his hands in peace. The alien girl took a deep breath and tried to speak, in their language. "I am with him," she said, pointing to the human. "He saved me." The creatures looked at each other, then at the human. Slowly, their eyes softened. They lowered their weapons and nodded. The human smiled. "Thank you," he said simply. "I want to help." The leader of the group stepped closer. "We know the dragon is not the only danger here. There are others who want to harm you, but together we can protect you." The alien girl felt hope growing inside her. She was not alone anymore. With the human and these new friends, maybe she could survive. That night, as they made camp under the glowing trees, the alien girl told the human her secret. She was not just any alien. She was the last of her kind, a guardian of an ancient power that could change the balance of the universe. The human listened quietly, amazed by her story. He realized that saving her was not just about bravery. It was about something bigger. It was about protecting a future that no one else understood. As the stars twinkled above, the alien girl looked at the human with trust. She knew that together they could face the darkness ahead. But far away in the shadows, the dragon was gathering strength. It was angry and hungry for revenge. The battle was not over, and this time, the stakes were higher than ever. The dragon's fury was unlike anything the alien girl or the human had ever faced before. After its retreat, it returned with a terrifying strength and an even greater hunger for vengeance. The sky darkened as the great beast spread its massive wings, casting a shadow over the dense forest like a living storm. The wind carried its deep, thunderous growl echoing through the trees and chilling the hearts of all who heard it. The human stood firm, his gaze steady as he watched the dragon circle above. The alien girl felt her pulse quicken, but she no longer trembled with fear. The strange warmth she had discovered inside her was growing stronger, a silent power pulsing through her veins. She knew that the fight ahead would test them both, pushing their limits far beyond what they had known. As the dragon swooped down with a roar, the human activated his shield once again, the glowing energy shimmering around them like a protective bubble. The dragon's fiery breath slammed into the barrier, shaking it violently, but the shield held firm. The alien girl crouched close to the human, sensing his determination and bravery. But this time, the dragon was smarter. It attacked not only with fire, but with cunning. It darted around the trees, using the shadows to confuse them. It clawed at the shield's edges, trying to find a weak spot. The human's breathing grew heavier, sweat dripping down his forehead, but his hand stayed steady as he adjusted his tools. The alien girl felt a surge of energy rising inside her. She closed her eyes and focused, feeling the power bloom from her chest to her fingertips. Slowly, she reached out with her mind, sending a wave of light toward the dragon. The dragon recoiled, surprised by the sudden burst of energy. It shook its massive head, snarling in frustration. The human's eyes widened in awe. "You have power," he said, his voice full of respect. "Together we can use it." They began to move as one. The human used his advanced technology to distract the dragon, while the alien girl sent pulses of light and warmth that calmed the wild beast momentarily. Their teamwork was strange but powerful. The dragon's attacks became less fierce, confused by the unexpected resistance. But the battle was far from over. The dragon, enraged by their defiance, unleashed a final desperate assault. It charged at them with claws outstretched and fire blazing from its mouth. The human raised his shield and aimed his weapon while the alien girl gathered all her strength for one last burst of energy. The clash was explosive. Light and fire collided in a dazzling display that lit up the dark forest. The ground shook beneath them as the dragon roared in pain. Slowly it began to falter, its wings weakening and flames dying down. The alien girl and the human stood side by side, exhausted but unbroken. The dragon let out a final low growl before turning and flying away, disappearing into the clouds. The forest fell silent once more. The human lowered his shield, breathing heavily. He looked at the alien girl with pride. "We did it," he said softly. The alien girl smiled, feeling stronger than ever. She knew this victory was just the beginning. The dragon's fury had tested them both, but it had also shown them what they could achieve together. As the sun began to rise, casting golden light through the trees, the alien girl and the human prepared to face whatever challenges lay ahead. Their bond was stronger now, forged in the fire of battle and the courage to fight for each other. And somewhere far away, new dangers waited. But they would face them, together. The forest was still heavy with the scent of smoke and scorched earth from the battle. The alien girl and the human had barely caught their breath when unexpected sounds echoed through the trees. Soft footsteps, whispered voices, and strange lights flickering in the distance. The air seemed to hum with tension but also with hope. Out of the shadows stepped figures unlike anything the alien girl had seen before. They were taller than her and the human, but moved with quiet grace. Their skin shimmered with iridescent colors that shifted like liquid light. Their eyes glowed softly, full of curiosity and wisdom. The alien girl's heart skipped a beat. These were the beings her people had spoken of long ago, the guardians, protectors of balance in the universe. The human stepped forward cautiously, his eyes wide but calm. He watched the new arrivals with a mixture of wonder and wariness. The leader of the guardians, a tall figure with silver hair that seemed to float, spoke in a language unknown to the human, but the alien girl understood every word. "You carry a heavy burden," the guardian said, nodding toward the alien girl. "The dragon's fury is but one shadow among many. We have come to offer aid." The alien girl's eyes filled with tears. For the first time, she felt the weight of her loneliness begin to lift. The guardians were real, and they were here for her. The human looked to the alien girl and then back at the guardians. Though he did not understand their language, he sensed their purpose. He stepped forward and bowed his head slightly, a gesture of respect. The guardians responded with gentle smiles. The alien girl explained the recent battle, her voice trembling with emotion. She spoke of the dragon's wrath and the dangers lurking beyond the forest. The guardians listened intently, their glowing eyes never leaving her face. One of the guardians reached out and touched the alien girl's forehead, sending a wave of warmth and strength through her body. "You are stronger than you know," the guardian said softly. "Your power is the key to restoring balance." The human watched in amazement as the alien girl's strange energy glowed brighter. He could feel it too, a connection forming between them all. The guardians then turned their attention to the human. Though he was not one of their kind, they welcomed him. They offered him gifts, small devices that hummed with ancient technology, capable of protecting and enhancing their abilities. The alien girl and the human accepted the gifts gratefully, knowing they would need every advantage in the battles ahead. As night fell, the guardians shared stories of distant worlds and great wars. They spoke of darkness rising in the galaxy and the importance of unity among different beings. The alien girl and the human listened, their resolve strengthening. But even as they bonded, a shadow loomed far beyond. The dragon was not alone. Others were gathering, drawn by the promise of power and destruction. The battle for the alien girl's future was only beginning. With the guardian's help, the human and the alien girl prepared to face these new threats. Together, they were no longer just two fighting against a dragon. They had become part of something greater, a force of light and hope against the darkness. And as the stars shone brightly above, the alien girl felt for the first time that she was not just a survivor, but a warrior with allies by her side. The path ahead would be hard, but with courage, friendship, and the guardian's guidance, she believed they could overcome anything. The battle had changed everything. The dragon that once ruled the skies with fear was now defeated. Its roar silenced by the combined strength of the human and the alien girl. But the victory was more than just a fight won. It was the beginning of a bond deeper than either had imagined. The alien girl looked at the human with new eyes. He was no longer a stranger from another world, but a protector, a friend, and something more. His courage had saved her life, but his kindness had saved her soul. She could feel a warmth growing between them, a connection that went beyond words. The human, too, felt the change. He had come to this wild planet by chance, but now he understood his purpose. It was not just to fight or survive, but to stand beside this fragile yet powerful being. Together they had faced fire and fury, and now they stood united. The alien girl reached out and touched the human's hand. The moment their skin met, a pulse of light shimmered between them. It was as if their souls spoke in silence, telling stories of hope, trust, and promise. Neither needed to say a word. The bond was clear and strong. Around them, the forest began to heal. The trees that once shook in fear now whispered softly, and the stars above seemed to shine brighter. The guardians watching from nearby nodded in approval. The bond between the human and the alien girl was not just personal. It was a force that could change the fate of their worlds. But even in this moment of peace, danger still lurked. The dragon's defeat had sent ripples through the galaxy, alerting enemies hidden in shadows. Creatures hungry for power began to stir, preparing to challenge the new alliance. The human and the alien girl knew their journey was far from over. They would face darkness that tested their strength, their will, and their trust in each other, but they would face it together. As they prepared to leave the forest, the alien girl looked up at the human with determination. "Thank you," she said softly, "for saving me, for believing in me." The human smiled, his eyes shining with warmth. "I'm not the one who needed saving," he replied. "You showed me a new way to be brave." Together they stepped forward into the unknown, ready to face whatever the universe had in store. Their bond was a beacon in the darkness, a promise that even in the wildest storms, hope and friendship could light the way. And so their story continued, not as two strangers but as allies bound by courage, trust, and a shared destiny that would echo through the stars. The alien girl and the human stood side by side on the edge of the forest, the first light of dawn casting long shadows across the ground. Their journey had been long and filled with danger, but their bond had grown stronger with every challenge. Now, as the world around them woke, a new chapter was about to begin. The alien girl looked out at the horizon, her heart filled with hope and determination. The strange warmth she had felt inside her since their first encounter had blossomed into a steady flame, a power not just of strength, but of courage and friendship. She knew that the battles they had fought were only the start of something much greater. The human glanced at her, his eyes reflecting the rising sun. He had never imagined that traveling to an unknown planet would lead him to such an incredible journey. But now he understood that their meeting was no accident. Together they had faced a fearsome dragon and survived. Together they had discovered strength they didn't know they had, and together they were ready to face whatever the universe would throw at them next. As they prepared to move forward, a gentle breeze stirred the leaves, carrying with it whispers of distant worlds and unseen threats. The guardians who had come to their aid watched silently from the shadows, their glowing forms blending with the morning light. They knew that the true test was yet to come. The alien girl turned to the human, a quiet smile on her lips. "We are no longer alone," she said. "With the guardians and with each other, we can face anything." The human nodded. "We have a chance to change the future, not just for us, but for many." Together they set off beyond the forest, stepping into a galaxy full of mysteries, dangers, and hope. Their journey was just beginning, but one thing was certain. No matter what awaited them, they would face it united. And so, under the vast sky filled with stars, the story of the alien girl and the human became a legend. A tale of bravery, friendship, and the unbreakable bond that can form between two souls from different worlds. The future was uncertain, but their courage was a light that would shine across the universe, inspiring others to believe in the power of trust and the strength found in unity. Their adventure continued, a promise written in the stars that no matter how dark the night, the dawn would always come.